Okay. Oh, good morning. Coming to you from the orchard today for an overview of the farm for July 3rd, 2026. And we've had some very volatile weather. In June alone, we received 170 millimeters of rain, and that has kind of dominated our early season here. And we count ourselves very lucky given the severity of the storms. It could have been much worse. So let's take a look at what's going on around the farm and kind of how some of the mitigation strategies that we have are helping us deal with these things. All our early planted crops are looking super nice. So the sweet onions are fantastic. The tops are epic. The carrots are closing their canopy and we will start to harvest them this weekend. So the celery, lettuce, all looking nice, and we are starting to flip our first beds already. So we have 56 of these beds planted right now. And unfortunately, it looks like the early heat wave in May caused the daikon to bolt early. So maybe we'll still get some of them, but it's a little disappointing. The back section has all our late summer crops this year, and it's looking amazing. Really happy with all of this. Katie and the team just mulched the leeks, so those just got mulched. It makes it easier to dig them out of our clay later on. We have an empty bed over here I will fill with the fall fennel. So these are the no-till beds, and this is one of our mitigation strategies, which is not any one thing, and it's like many things that happen over the years as you learn and implement these different strategies. This no-till section can absorb 170 millimeters rain with almost no effect at all. So that really helps us. We've also been applying grass seed and clover seed to the bed spaces in between our sections, so there's no mud. We can walk back here after a heavy rain, and be able to harvest or be able to fix the crops or help the crops if they need it. We don't drive anything back here, just the golf cart, so everything is really light on the feet. Mud slows everything down. That said, the middle bed section has a rougher time. So the peppers and eggplants took some hail damage a few weeks ago, and we've been relying on foliar applications to get them through the rough times. And it finally looks like they're coming around. But the eggplants are probably our worst crop right now. They had an irrigation mishap earlier in the season where there was a leak. So the soil had tons of water, and then we got the 170 millimeters, and the eggplants are standing in water. So, and then the bugs showed up. So the eggplants are really not happy right now. We manually removed all the beetles, and we're giving them foliars every 4 or 5 days right now to keep them going. So the good bugs showed up too. So these are pyropyga beetles. I think I'm saying that right. They're in the lightning bug family. They're predatory. So a lot of them around, which I take as a good sign. Some of these plants are looking pretty nice, but we're going to keep working on turning the corner for these. Foliar nutritions are another one of our mitigation strategies. I started trialing this a couple years ago, and this year we went all in on it, which happened to be good timing because, when it's hot, water is the issue. On the other side of the coin, when it's waterlogged, there's not much you can do except for wait for it to stop raining. And so that's when we can intervene, feed the plants when they're stressed, get them the sugars they need to keep metabolizing. So we're also using foliars on a large scale on all our potatoes to trial using nutrition and plant immunity to fight our potato beetle problem. That's starting to have some really exciting results. I'll be writing about that strategy. There's a link down below to a blog post, but hopefully I'll have a full video of this and the results of it when we're a little further along in the season. Another general resilience strategy is to build infrastructure. So the hoop house, it has been amazing. I mean, it can be cold, it can be hot, it can be wet, it can be dry. We can grow inside there. The cucumbers have hit the ceiling and they've gone over top, so we're starting to pull in those nice English cucumbers, and we have an amazing variety of cherry tomatoes just blowing my mind right now, and those are ripening right now, and our peppers started off a little slow, but wow, have they ever turned around, and the yields are incredible. So this is an amazing part of our farm, an amazing strategy, just a second year doing this. Additionally, we built a little caterpillar tunnel this year, so we have some heirloom and specialty variety of tomatoes, and those have been toasty and warm when it's been cool, and they're out of the wind, they're out of the storms, and they grow really, really well in here. A big strategy for us is cover crops. We put a cover crop in last year, and it's turned out just amazing. The peas are incredible. The beans look good. The cabbage looks good. Anything we put on this cover crop looks amazing. The weeds are low pressure, so the cover crop is going to hold more water. It's going to hold more carbon. It's going to help us with the weeds. It's going to help us with biology and nutrition. And it's not just a strategy for heavy rainfall, but it's also a drought strategy. So last year was so hot and dry that, I mean, remember, in the first week of May, it was over 30 degrees. We had lots of forest fires. I was wearing a mask for most of May, just working outside with a really bad air quality. And, I just went camping last week at Nopaming at Tullaby Falls, which is a place that I've been going to for a long, long time, and I'm very familiar with it. The fire damage is remarkable to see, and it's quite heartbreaking to be so familiar with this place and these hiking trails. And I took this photo 2 years ago in this exact stand of forest, and 1 year after the fire it looks like this. So nature is coming back incredibly fast. Nature has these systems built in, the poplars and aspens whose runners can withstand the fire and pop out at the opportunity, and the jack pine, of course, whose seeds can be opened by fire. So as farmers and our entire society, actually, we need to maybe stop building pipelines and start building ecological solutions. And so by growing cover crops, we are basically leveraging the results of the structures that plants build so that we can use them in the future. So we'll have a lot more on cover crops as the year goes on, as we install them in late July and into August for next year's crops. The last strategy I'm going to talk about for dealing with extreme and volatile weather today is crop diversity. So a number of years ago we would only grow 10 or 12 different crops, and today we grow 40 different crops, and we've even installed this orchard as part of a longer term strategy to that end. So this really helped us last year with the heat and the drought. It really hurt our potatoes a lot, but our other crops filled in those gaps, and we were able to make it through a challenging season because we had all that diversity. Right here in the orchard, we've even inoculated these 4 or 5 year old apple trees. Each one has a base of mulch, wood chip mulch here. We've inoculated all those with wine cap mushrooms, and that's just really exciting because all this rain we've got, they're really helping the mushrooms. The mushrooms are loving this, and I think we'll be seeing some sooner than later. Even in this no-till field alone, I think we're growing 20 different crops here. This diversity really helps us. I mean, we see a lot of the beneficial insects and stuff, but this diversity really helps us be more resilient consistently through hot weather, cold weather, wet weather, dry weather, that we can grow despite the conditions. So lastly, we have received a viewer request all the way from Finland for an update on the birds. So kiitos Penelope. Hyvä idea. Tässä ovat linnut. Here's the birds. We've got some robins in the Quonset, and Mama Robin was bringing worm after worm after worm in for these hungry robin babies, and they grew so fast, like they're already out of the nest and out in the world on their own. I'm also happy to report that the barn swallows, the harapasku, they've made their third nest. So they've they have not given up. We had a red-tailed hawk flying right over the garden, but our resident red-winged blackbirds did not like that, so we got to see a little David versus Goliath fight there. The tree swallows are also busy raising the little ones. They are flying around all day trying to get insects for the babies to eat, and I also discovered a new house wren, a second house wren nest. These guys are a little hard to film because they jump around a lot, but they decided to make a nest in our potato seed cutter. So it's been fun watching two sets of house wrens. Also had a pileated woodpecker drop by. We usually hear them, not see them, especially in the summertime. So that was really, they're just such beautiful birds. And a couple more from my camping trip. Saw some common nighthawks swooping in and out. Like, these birds are so fast and there's almost no light. I don't know how they do it, but they are having dinner time. While I was waiting for the sun to set, was lucky enough to have some common mergansers swim right by me, like maybe 10 meters. Like, really beautiful birds, you know. It's really amazing to go to some place and see the wildlife up that close. I mean, there was even a beaver who was busy trying to also get a snack. So yeah, it's just really, really fun to be close to these wild things and get these ecological reminders of the planet that we live on and our duty to help it and protect it, and just how special it is. And I think that has to be my photo of the week, is these common mergansers. The sunlight here is reflecting the green, and that's the green of the undergrowth from the burned forest. So again, I think I got really lucky with this photo and that I got to be so close to these birds. So, and that's it for our early summer farm update. Hopefully I have some more potato nutrition trial stuff to share with you, some cover crop stuff to share with you, and we'll see you on the next one.